Okay, we're doing a diagnosis on a 08 PT Cruiser. We got 5 different codes in there. They're stored codes, so it's history codes. We have a crankshaft position sensor circuit, intake air temperature sensor, 1 circuit high, PO 300, which is multiple cylinder misfire, O2 sensor, half circuit high, and then fuel system rich. So all the codes: PO1, PO172, PO138, PO300, PO113, PO335. All right, and then here are the codes right here. Now, I already went in the car, turned it on, and when I turned it on, the customer was saying how the car would just shut off at a light. So I gave it some gas, and then I let off the gas. This is in park. And then a couple of seconds, boom, it shut off. So confirmed that issue. Now he told me he has somebody in here who changed spark plugs, changed multiple different things, basically a parts changer. So he wants me to really figure out what the problem is. Now, hopefully you guys can see this. Let me pull out my handy dandy flashlight. But right here, as I was pulling this intake box, just so I could get to the battery terminal to connect to that easier, right here, that hose was disconnected. Wait, right there, you see that nozzle on the bottom? That hose was disconnected. I didn't do anything there. I just pulled the box up. So just looking through, making sure I'm dotting my I's, checking my Q's, P's, and all that. But yeah, so that wasn't connected. And also, when I was in the car, I confirmed that the long term, or should I say the short term, because that's reacting to right now, was becoming rich. And then the long term was slowly following it. The highest I seen it go was like 16, so it's not enough to really set a check engine light for that necessarily right now. But we do have the rich code, so that's probably enough for us to kind of confirm that code, right? But the most important code that I saw was the crankshaft position sensor. Now I feel like that code could probably cause everything in here. But let me get this box out. Oh no, we can't lose that. These pop off all the time. Okay. So we got the box off. And I already popped the top of the box off, but looking down, see we're missing a rubber grommet. Again, that wasn't me previously, but now that we can reach this, I'm kind of interested to see if I connect this little vacuum line right there. Let me see if I could put this somewhere where it'll stay. If I connect this vacuum line, would that like solve the problem? Potentially, because again, like I said, I get off the gas and boom, it dies. Now, it could be that it's getting too much air, or should I say, it's getting too much air that I can't really meter, which that is directly connected. That's directly connected to the valve cover, so that's not being read by anything right there. So, also replace this line right here, going into the intake manifold. But like I said, this hose is not measured by anything at all. But we'll make sure we connect that when we get back in here. But stay tuned. I'll let you know what I find. Okay, so I confirm that there's no power going to the mass airflow. We have good ground. We have reference from the intake absolute pressure sensor or whatever, but we don't have power to it. So I'm sure we're getting gas, we're getting fuel. The next thing I would have to check is the crank. All right, so it's another day back at the PT Cruiser, day 2. We diagnosed it. We found out that the crankshaft position sensor is wrong. So now I'm back to change it. I already got 4 bolts out. They're kind of pain in the ass bolts, but let's take a look. It's gonna be a little hard to see, but it's an 08 PT Cruiser, just so you guys know. Got the bolts right here, right? I always drop down the bolts in the order that they came off. So like the reason why this one's laying the way it is because that's how it went, right? All these other ones went straight into the block, but hopefully you can see it. It's on the ground. This thing right here, this is a cover that we got removed. I just got this one last bolt that you can't see because it's behind this line. Once I remove that, let me get to work on it. And you could potentially see it moving if I put the camera right. You could probably see it right here. Nah, you can't see it, but the bolt's right there. It's a pretty long bolt, so it's just gonna take some time to release, but we gotta do it all by hand, no electric tools, because they don't fit, unfortunately. That's all right. Part of the process, but you're going to need an 18 and a 15 millimeter socket to get this job done, and there is an order that you gotta kind of do it in. Let's just snake it down. All right, so oh god, that shit just dropped so much dirt. All right, so now you can see it's got 5 bolts, 2 on the side. Oh, there's one, and then I got the second one at the bottom right there. But pretty much the order of it, these don't matter, like these 3, no order, but you first gotta take this bolt out in order to get this bolt out, because the heads of the bolt are too big on this one to put the socket on, the 18 on. So you gotta remove this first, this one, in order to take this one off. So basically I attack these 3 first, I loosen this one up, then I remove this one, and then that was the last one. But all right, so we're gonna just leave it back there. And as you can see, the order 1 2, that's 1 2 3 3 4 4, and then I leave 5 in because I really don't need to take it off. But let's see if we can see. There she is, our crank sensor. Let's put you back down. Just take a gander, take a look. There she is. Just gotta unplug it, and then we should be good to go. And sadly, there's not a lot of spots where you could place a light, because it's an aluminum block, but you can see the crank sensor right there. Let me see if I could get something to point at it for you. Right there. Right above this bolt hole. And there she is. There she blows. Right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. But I'm gonna work on getting that off, and then we'll come back when I get that off. So got the sensor off. Let me block the light. Got the sensor off. It's a bit of a hassle, a little bit, but with the right tool, you got a 1/4 inch drive with an 8 millimeter socket. Boom, long, deep. And you'll get this out easy. 1, 2, 3. Let's take out the new one. Alright, we got the new one. Let's match it up. You can feel the magnetic pulse that it has. It's pretty cool. But everything looks good. So let's stick this one in. Woo! Oh my goodness. And it's probably been about 15 minutes since I got this whole thing off. Let's go underneath. Click on this light. Alright. Hopefully you guys can see. Let me just slide you guys in there. So, right there, I'm not sure if you guys can see that too well, but right there, that's where the sensor goes in. I'll just report back once I got the sensor in so you can see what I'm talking about. Brand new sensor in there. Yeah, give me a couple minutes. All right. So we're about 5 minutes in. It was a little bit more of a pain. Anticipated to get that bolt in. That's probably where most of my time went. But as you can see right there, we got the new sensor in. You can see it's flat against the block too. I snugged it up and gave it a little more. So it's nice and tight in there. And now it's pretty much time to connect that the wiring harness back up to it, the plug, and then from there we can start buttoning up and put everything back the way it was. So hopefully I'll see you probably in about 10 minutes or more. And if I was on a lift, oh my god, 2 seconds right here. But man, doing this on the ground is a little bit more tedious. All right, so we buttoned everything up, got it back together. As you can see, everything's back together. We're just gonna go up and clear the code. But I just want to show that this oil pan gasket needs to be replaced. As you can see, we got oil protruding out from all these points, and it's all the way around. Some parts are good. Like here on this side, we don't see that much oil. It just starts towards that end over there. And then I also noticed that we're going to need a new AC compressor, because whoever was in here probably broke that bracketry right there. So we got that sensor harness portion just hanging because that part is broken right there. And again, that could be something that tape up, put it together, tape it up just to hold it in place. So it could be a fix for now. I could see that there's a little sweat from the oil pan drain plug as well. So probably need a new, we will probably just do a new drain plug. It's not that much. Slap a gasket on there too. But yeah, I just wanted to show all that happening right there. And all this right here, just so we could let the customer know. We also have some coolant leaking down. I haven't yet found out where that's coming from, but yeah, there that is. So we'll pop the hood, look from up top, see if we could find out where this leak is coming from. I just hope it's, you know, maybe a hose or something rather than the radiator itself, just because, you know, radiators is a decent job, you know, not saying that I can't do it, but just for their sake, so that they can pretty much not worry about too big of a expense on that. Let me take that off because it was dripping down on two sides. It was dripping right there. I'm not sure if you can see that. And right here. But let's put the scanner on, clear the code, and make sure we're good to go. Just go through the process. Okay. Scan 6 faults. Yep. So those are all in there already. Go just enter. And go clear the faults. Okay. Read. DTC information. No codes. That's way better than before. Boom. We fire. And now what would happen is when you rev it up, right? You keep it. Alright, we'll let it warm up. So now that I know that the codes aren't populating anymore, because they'll instantly populate, what I'm gonna do is go outside and we're gonna take this off, crank her up a bit. So we would rev it up for a little bit, not even too long. Drop it down, and then it'll slowly work its way to shut off just after a little rev like that. But it seems like job well done. Issue is fixed. We're gonna go out the diagnosis. Go out of it completely. Go in. Auto detect. Let's put it right here. Very easy to read. Okay. And some of the codes, there are the codes that were in there were what I did just by my checks and stuff. But now, no faults. Before it automatically came back. Job well done. It seems like we're good to go. That's awesome.